Hello everybody, welcome back to 17 Carat K-Pop. Sorry, I've kind of lost my voice recently, so if I kind of get raspy at times or this doesn't seem as polished of an episode, I apologize for that. Please bear with me, but the show must go on. Been long enough. Time to share with you my top 20 picks for the best new releases of last month from K-pop, J-pop, C-pop artists, etc. With my usual disclaimer first, remember it's never a personal diss toward anybody when I pick these. Listening to literally hundreds of new releases every month, I'm bound to miss people you thought stood out most, but I just try objectively as possible, to assess the music, the videos, what these eras for these artists are doing that's unique, extra impressive, extra creative, whatever. Never personal. Without further ado, number 20 on my countdown. Vicky Chen, Guiding Light. First of all, I love the instrumental. It's ballady, but not too ballady to be boring. It's got an interesting kickoff to the choruses and the song in general. Sounds like a pop song, a more upbeat song opening. This warped, synthy voice, but it's really a slow, sentimental song. Second of all, it's got a good message with lyrics about being grateful for what you have, reorienting your sense of priorities, what's your real guiding light? What did you realize truly matters most to you? You're missing out on happiness in your life already while you chase new forms of it. It's about finding inner peace to match the tranquility of her walk on a sunny day that you see in the video. Other messages besides stop to smell the roses is to just not let comparison rob you of your joy. Timeless messages, plus she has a timeless appeal to her voice. Number 19. Ian Shan, Thank You Postman. The lyrics have a cute elementary school poetry rhyme pattern to them. I must jot down every secret that's on my mind. Once every 2 days, in my letters you'll find. Open your mailbox, my sweet stories there'll be. Thank you, postman, for delivering this love from me. It's very children's book-esque, and the music video is so rom-com coded, where they have these split-screen adventures at first. Like, they're kindred spirits. Intuitively, they just get each other, mimic each other's habits, even when they're not physically together. They feel connected. Then they are physically in the same place, which is when she happens to get a special delivery, which is a package full of these love letters that he wrote for her. So it's a very cute song, very cute, sweet video. What's not to like? Number 18. La Pomme, Mir. La Pomme is a classically trained quartet, but trust me, you don't have to listen to a certain type of music, be into a certain choir sound to like these songs, and just be so impressed, blown away by their voices, together and apart. And I love the ways they utilize metaphors. There's more instrumental variety that makes Rose interesting, but lyrical variety is what impresses most about Mir. The lyrics contrast, like about different types of mirror metaphors, from light reflecting off of it, blinding you, to a mirror maze. The music video has different types of mirror metaphors too, and this cool image of being cloned, with timing that made it seem almost triggered by the blue butterfly's emergence. But it's also got a back and forth conversation, like two different voices in their heads. One saying, yes, go pursue this love. The other being like, whoa, no, back up. They sing about lust and irresistible romance, both beautifully, just literally, vocally, and lyrically in a range of ways that's impressive. Number 17. Say the name, 17. Kiss of Life, Midas Touch. So much strong early aughts girl group energy. The choreography, the visuals, it's all giving girl group early aughts. It's just such a welcome throwback, and they pull it off so well. Visually, the video is just so extra, and I love it. Posing on pedestals, literally, posing with the snake, more mythology references in there, all the glitter and decadent nail art. And I like still that although they really do show a cool group-wide image more than ever, they also keep showing off individual it factors, like the way they reference some of their solo songs in the lyrics to Midas Touch. Like there's a reference to Kitty Cat and Countdown, And in the video, they do have scenes in totally different settings. And I hope they were hands-on, getting to pick and personalize what those special personal palaces looked like. So you see how each member is a vital piece of the puzzle, and they pulled it together for a full, glittery picture. Love the spectacle of it all. It's also a really great, nostalgic B-side in Nothing. I love the line, "So why did it take me this long to see that you're not worth my songs?" Number 16. Baby Monster, the self-titled release, but with the number 7 instead of a T. Honestly, Sheesh, the new song, not for me. However, the B-side, Like That, truly might be one of the best B-sides of the year so far. It's easy listening, nothing to hate about it. It was gifted to them by Charlie Puth. You definitely sense that. It's a Charlie Puth adjacent sound. The whistles, the guitars, it's so just an earworm. I also picked this because of the Sheesh video. That visual component makes the song substance not matter as much to me. Really blown away by the video. It's just such a cool aesthetic they went for. The spooky castle, all the shadows of bare trees and the mazes, images of mazes that start out scattered but then spread all over. The way they use what look like windows as picture frames, showing off their riches. The ways they have the blinking blue lights that almost look like either eyes in the dark or movie projector lights. Either way, there could be read into meaning there. Spooky, strange happenings. That's the premise, and they pull it off. I think the most effective dramatic moment is the blinking you'll miss it switch. The red candle close-up, then transitioning to the big image of the inky pool and the ring of fire that looks like a big eye, like the pool is a pupil. And the one in red in the middle of the fire, it's just very cinematic. Number 15. Bremen Avanchin, Aveantin. These guys are so fearless and fun, and that really comes home when you watch their videos. Unapologetically goofy, corny, quirky. They have quite a weird slumber party of sorts in Yonaki. Breakthrough is like a theme song, styled dance, their shadow images, outlines of their shadows, or enjoying the colorful backgrounds. But before that, it's like a telethon meets a corny retro game show situation. The colorful soundtrack is fittingly present. The songs just have so much character, liveliness, variety. They really play a lot with the instruments they have. They dabble with the massive amount of possibilities of the sounds you can generate from the same instrument and the moods you can conjure up from the same set or pacing. They play with and mess with intentionally whatever would keep a consistency between the songs. So each song really stands out. Although I think Lucky Strike might be the best. Number 14. Godoro Takanabe. It's a Japanese word that refers to a town, but also tall in many ways. Tall like height, tall like wealth, status, high places, high caliber, high status, etc. Like a big deal, larger than life. So it's a naturally confident rap and hip-hop focused album. It starts out, I think, with the biggest bang. The first few songs are the best. Garakuda, Pain, featuring the iconic A-Witch. He later keeps the songs pretty busy, but not as fun in the chaos. A bit safer, probably more palatable for just any audience. Danceable moments, laid-back, vibe-focused numbers, but then times where he's just living it up. Love the R-rolling addition to Daibakusho. Love the unexpected piano layer added to Hanamizuki. Lots of detail, lots of layers. It's really well done. Number 13. Meiji Aurora. Aurora is the Roman goddess of dawn, so the symbol of a new day, a new page, lightness, sunshine, that permeates the album. So she does stay true to R&B roots, but a very sunshiny update to them. So lots of classic pop-ups and slower songs that are just very angelically sung. She doesn't rush herself. Some instrumentals really take their time. I love the piano in Sweetest Crime. There's a nice gentle acoustic guitar, To Be Free. The best lyrics are in Spread Love, self-explanatory. The best overall, I would say, though, is Superwoman. Number 12. Epex, Youth Chapter 1, Youth Days. Youth to Youth is so sweet and the soul of this album. The core is with that. So many cute lyrics about you can wander, hold my hand and start your life, enjoyment is rebellious, keep trying, don't compare, we can change in reverse, we can all be diverse. The other songs too are basically youth to youth. Them talking to you like a peer, like a friend with advice, encouragement, moral support. It's uplifting. Beck soon said, a key word besides youth for this era is secret, referring to secret scars, struggles young people deal with. And some songs do cover that stuff, just the darker sides of growing up. So they don't shy away from that, but there is kind of a keeping the faith, optimistic core. He also teased that there are 2 more in this trilogy, and those 2 albums will, quote, revolve around looking for the true meaning of youth, unquote. So part 1, Secrets. Parts 2 and 3, we'll find out. Youth to Youth actually was recorded with a 20-person choir to really heighten that crescendo. Bravo! Number 11. Hiromitsu Kitayama, Bet/The Beast. From the bass to the keys, A+ for the layering, really well-constructed songs. Lots of fun ad-lib, tight moments, and kind of a mix of choices vocally and instrumentally that make it feel like it's kind of a combination of all the previous songs combined with the final one. The Beast was the right title track choice. Uber unnecessary how dramatic it is. The video and the song itself, his rugged rap paired with a choir. Love how extra it is. Andy's got a fun contrast with the Beast hair and the beauty look. The nice fitting suit. The video keeps your interest for the extraness too of the backup dancers. And the times throughout the video, he becomes the Beast, but not the Beast you're thinking of, like a classic fairy tale beast. He becomes more like a cyborg. Quite a transformation. Besides the Beast though, the best song is Violet. After a nice dramatic lead-in, it's an EDM banger. Number 10. I've Switch. These songs are more cold, confident, we're above you anthems. Ice Queen probably sums that up the best. Love their attitude. They do just get kind of flirty and cutesy though, in a more high teen-esque way with Wow, Reset. Reset is very Oh My Girl-esque. The trends throughout the songs, fast BPMs, a high-pitched sourness turns sweet delivery, subtle echoing effects, and other nice production finishing touches. What I really want to talk about, though, is this video. Because you know me, when I hear there's a reference to a book or a movie in a video, I want to do a deep dive into that context. So Heya is apparently inspired by the fairy tale, The Tiger Who Loved the Sun. I think it's a reference to the Korean folk tale about the sun and the moon, the siblings. Slightly different variations on the title, but the story's about who became the moon after the tiger visited. The video seems very loosely connected to that story, if that is indeed the right story. I couldn't find any info about something just called The Tiger Who Loved the Sun. So I'm gonna assume it's this classic story, but I apologize if I'm wrong. Either way, I'm going to tell you about it because I found this so interesting. It's basically Little Red Riding Hood, only their version seems to have a better lesson. In the English story, Little Red Riding Hood, to me the main takeaway is don't be that bad of a parent. That you're like, here, kid, go visit grandma. Here's a basket of fresh bread. Here's a bright red coat. Now go out there by yourself in the woods where we know the wolves are and have a safe trip. I could rant about that absurd story all day. But anyway, this version I like so much more. So, basically, there are different versions, but here's one. This woman is bringing home snacks for her kids. A tiger emerges and demands the snacks. So she gives him up, really scared. The tiger comes back and asks for more. Now he says, "Can I eat your arm? Then I promise I'll go away." She lets him. He comes back. He says, "Can I eat the other arm? I promise then I'll go away." He comes back again and eats all of her. Then he dresses up in her clothes to cosplay as mom. The kids smartly do not open the door to this person who says, "It's mommy." They say, "Oh, what strange hands you have." They see through the keyhole. "Oh, what a strange voice you have." And this tiger's just like, "Oh, my hands look rough and my voice sounds off because it was a long day at work." But these smart kids stay skeptical. They're like, that's not mom. We are not opening the front door. So the tiger gets mad, realizes they're not going to just open the door. So the tiger just breaks through. The kids run out of the house to hide. The tiger at first is like, aha, I caught ya. You're in the well. Those were the reflections in the well water. He soon realizes they're behind him up in a tree, which he starts to climb. The kids pray to God and say, God, if we are noble, if we deserve it, please give us a sturdy rope to climb up there to the skies where it's safe. If we've been bad and don't deserve it, drop down a rough rope that really won't do the job. God let down a good sturdy rope. They climbed up, the boy became the moon, and the girl became the sun. She told her brother she was afraid of the dark, so there's a sub-story here, an additional moral of the story to be thoughtful about your siblings. The tiger, though, is still bent on getting to them, and also asks God for a rope. God gives him a rough rope that doesn't work, so he falls and he bleeds on the field. That is the ancient legend that is used to explain why sorghum fields might have a red color. The red color's from the tiger blood. Way more interesting and worthwhile than our version of Red Riding Hood, right? I mean, it's a lesson about a healthy skepticism, stranger danger, telltale signs, trusting your gut if something seems off, and that looking out for each other will, at the end of the day, give you basically good karma. And if you eat someone, that's bad karma, hence why the tiger was doomed. So that's the interesting story that may have somehow inspired this Ive era. Do with that what you will. The video is interesting regardless, though. It's cool how it's like a makeup compact that opens up, the action unfolds, it closes at the end, like it's a literally compact story, like a pop-up book situation. Very whimsical. Number 9. Extraordinary Heroes, Troubleshooting. I love a self-reference. They've got quite a few of those throughout this album. They reference Chemical in Paint It, in Undefined. They say it's freaking good as opposed to freaking bad. They reference blowing out birthday candles, reminding me of Happy Death Day on, fittingly, Until the End of Time. The album, taken as a whole, is a really expanded soundscape for them. Lyrically, though, it's kind of all one story. They go from songs of self-pity to lots of lyrics about breaking the mold, living life on their own terms. Their classic go-to message of write your own rules for this world, rules that restrict self-expression, were meant to be broken, embrace your inner weirdo, all that kind of stuff. Block out what the world says about you, who cares, that kind of stuff. After that period of inner self-empowerment, building yourself up, the second part of the album, in my opinion, starts with Dreaming Girl and Until the End of Time. That's when they start reflecting on the temporariness of everything. Things they used to think were just destined to last forever. They're grown up now, they understand that's not true. So loving what they have, cherishing it, knowing it will go away, that's kind of the theme of the second half. So the album ends with the song Night of Fireworks and the outro saying the fireworks are over. It's interesting how, in this behind-the-scenes video about making this album, they talked about the inspiration for Until the End of Time, which was what their parents say, that they now see in a different light. Your parents say, I'll always be there for you, or I'll always love you, I'll always be there when you need me. But that's not true. They will be gone someday, and when you're older, you get that. That nothing lasts forever, heavy realization. That led to that song, which they said they really spent an extended period of time doing rounds of. They also mentioned a very different demo version that they said we should get to hear someday. Yes, we should. Very curious. They purposely didn't pick too far in advance a title track. They just wanted to make every song with it in mind that it could become the title track. And I can see that. I do think the songs are all on equal footing. I highly recommend checking out what they call the mood sampler. It's the short film that lays out the narrative. It shows the members in quiet contemplation, slowly moving through life, but life really brightens up with music and each other, often both. The cinematography is really well done, with maximum impact timing of cutaways. You could also have a field day deciphering all the graffiti on the walls, other background details that might have Easter eggs. But if you don't feel like it, the short film makes some messages just super clear. A poster on the wall asks you, are you alive or just existing? They always give a thought-provoking question, making their work feel more interactive. Number 8. Solar Colors. This could have been a paint-by-numbers comeback, if you will. Like, it could have been pretty boring of a concept. Like, each song shows a new color, a new side to her palette, that's it. But no, she made this theme personalized in entertaining ways. She seems to reference a Meghan Trainor song with the "Who's That Sexy Thing I See Over There, Look in the Mirror" lyric in Colors. And this is more of a stretch, but she talks about being blue and then a dooba-dooba sound that is just making me think of Blue by Eiffel 65. So I don't know what kind of connections were intended or not, but she did her own thing with whatever inspired her. It's very voguing ready and runway ready to start with Colors. Empty is a breezy song, contrasted with sad lyrics about FOMO, loneliness. Honey Honey is a fun sequel to Honey, the song just called Honey. This one takes the honey metaphor about flirting with someone, comparing that experience to sweet honey, to both of them being in love, trapped to each other. So interesting, but still very take charge, way to switch up her honey metaphor. Easy Peasy is about finding joy in the mundane. It's her most childish song. That's not a bad thing. And there's nice lemon squeezy, lemon yellow, color-themed wordplay. Then she ends with Blues, where she finally gets to really just vocally go there. Saved it for the finale. So these songs keep her confidence at the forefront, but in lyrically creative ways. Then there is the main track, But I, which I love and definitely see as the right call for a main track. The video, you could predict for a Colors era, would just focus on the symbolism of black versus white outfits, contrasts like that. But she adds her own twists, and the song is twisty too. You think you're in for a gentle ballad before she starts singing about hating you and smashing her piano. She sings about being reborn, reblossoming like a flower after wielding a hammer, and it is just glorious. She vows to just brush herself off and be better off with someone who treats her better, knowing she deserves better. And she has a twist of the getting rid of her old, insecure self when she delivers this coffin with a mirror on the top. So in different ways, Solar just kept the surprises coming, using a premise that felt like it could have been lacking all surprises. Number 7. O&F, aka On and Off, Beautiful Shadow. They really got in their feels for this. And instrumentally too, they really just threw more at the wall than ever. It's just the richest release yet, in many ways. They sing about feeling this overpowering intoxication in Aphrodite, and that perfectly matches the high energy and wild-in chants and synths in the song. What seems almost like a rebuttal in a way to Boy Next Door's Earth, Wind & Fire, they released Breath, Haze, and Shadow. It's a piano ballad with violins, and time for each of them, one at a time, to just vocally get a spotlight. They also appear more mature, more comfortable in their musicianship with the rapping, but in a laid-back kind of way, but still celebratory. Optimistic but chill rapping in Chemical type, which makes liberal use of chemistry analogies. But then they go for the danceable fun, slave to the rhythm. Basically, they go all in emotionally, like 110%. Then they dial it back to just dance out their frustrations, and on a lighter note. I was also really impressed with their visual storytelling. With the Buy My Monster video, they have these all-white suits when they dance before this beautiful sunset, a picturesque look, contrasted with scenes with a bunch of grayness, smoke, destruction, and all-black outfits. Notable are the hopeful scenes, the lighter color palette scenes, that are still interrupted by moments of darkness, like a member literally being pulled back into pitch darkness. Yet moments of optimism then interrupt the dark moments that interrupted the light moments. So it's quite a battle between good and evil, essentially, symbolically. They make it through with each other, which is brought home by the final close-up of hands reaching each other. Another cool symbolic detail, the giant bird cage. a giant, what looks like a bird cage next to them in the sunset, picturesque, white suit wearing dance routine setting. Because they're free, of course, they're not in the cage, but also it lands in the sand tilted. Like someone, a giant, was carrying this life-size to them cage and dropped it casually, not worrying about flatly setting it down. Like it's crookedly landed, and there could be a symbolic contrast there too, a symbol of freedom with being thrown off balance, a good with a bad. Number 6. Doyeon Youth. Honestly, I found the teaser video more interesting than the Little Light video. Not sure what that says about it, but like the intro video, really artistically done. The camera switches, the perspective shifts, the color palette, very aesthetic, and just very cool. I would have that as like a kind of calming desktop screensaver. It's really pretty. The Little Light video, not super exciting. It's him on a mission to find a little light naturally. Where he did excite and surprise me are the focuses of these songs. The pop rock ballads, the band songs. We haven't heard this style from him much before. Shout out to him for 2 writing credits, Beginning and From Little Wave. I also love the title choice because the Korean title actually includes the Korean word for sea foam, which goes with the consistent use of sea metaphors. There are 2 main through lines metaphorically in these songs. One's about waves, comparing things to waves that come and go, lingering ripples of waves, riding a wave of life, choppy waters. You get the picture. The other main metaphor is, of course, a little light and periods of stumbling when your vision is not clear. Metaphors about seeing no light at times, but searching for it. So at a detail-specific level, these stories are related to each other. But at a big picture level, they also relate to each other. And it makes for an impressive front-to-back chronological story. Like he literally starts at the beginning, with the song Beginning. He reflects on the past with Little Light from Little Wave during the first part, how he was stumbling around, those past bad feelings. Then there's the song Time Machine, where he's literally like, should I just go back in time, try this again? The middle part of the album has songs where it's like, that's happening, where he sings about resurfacing, like a resurfacing wave, memories. Then the last third of the album is characterized by this acceptance of what he found. When he went to the past and revisited memories, what did he learn? The lessons learned from that, and his desire to cherish both the bad and the good that came with that, and using the good past memories to motivate and comfort him through the present when the present gets dark. He gets to a point of contentment with the messy complexities of memory. Then he sings with the powerful Dallas Love Field and references the first page, like back to the beginning. So it's a really abstract, metaphorical story, but it's easy to follow. It has clear sections, eternally relevant reflections. It's really well done. Last thing I'll say is, the song Rest is so 17-esque. The message is peak semicolon era. Plus the painting your tomorrow metaphor, right out of 17's playbook, just saying. Number 5, Boy Next Door, How? What really impresses me about them is that I was worried that they would get really boring really fast. And they could. It's a baked-in concept when you're named Boy Next Door. They could easily have skated by getting decent popularity, just doing the most generic, classic boy band appeal stuff, because I'm a sucker for that. Lots of people are. They didn't need to get inventive with it. The marketing wrote itself. So it's extra commendable that they keep going out of the box. They keep it creative. They didn't have to do so much work, but they clearly did. Conceptually, they really thought beyond the generic. Their teaser videos continue to just be so unpredictable. Like the way they teased like 10 different plots at once, really quickly in succession, for a teaser for the But Sometimes era. This time, though, might be my favorite. It's kind of Toy Story-esque, where all these fuzzy creatures get on a FaceTime call, accidentally FaceTime the boys. The humans are like, what did we just see? They're like, abort mission. They gotta pretend that they're not sentient by the time the boys get back. fun goofiness with the Earth, Wind, and Fire video, which, again, uses an expected concept in a cute, clever way. With the door coming back, their go-to door in the middle of their action. A literal door. This time it falls into an extra quirky environment. The whole environment gives me live-action Cat in the Hat world energy, or another live-action Whoville type thing. The size proportionality, the live musical-esque kind of campiness of it. It's Whoville-coded, very one of a kind. As are their songs, which again take an expected premise, puppy love, this youthful boy trying to flirt concept, and gets more unexpected with it. They have this fun, no-filter bluntness, singing about trembling but pretending they're gonna play it cool with the album intro, charismatically rapping and singing through confessions of being nervous, feeling small and scared. My favorite line in Amnesia is eventually, abandoning my pride, I make the call. They say it's a serious youth in So Let's Go See the Stars. Later they say I love you, and then sing, what's this, I left the mic on? There's the phone call where they get a number you've dialed not available message at the start of Earth, Wind, and Fire. And then they ask in the lyrics, you're my darling, right? Are you teasing me? Like, come on, just tell me. Help me out here, please. But then they kind of quickly get over it with Life is Cool, a song about, as the lyrics say, it's still too early to be tied down. This is not a love song. They just sing about wanting to chill and hang out. Then they end with a wish for you to be happy and enjoy life with Dear My Darling. It's a very youthful, boyish, charming release, but again, really impressed that they've stayed interesting. They could have been just a one-note group, but haven't been. Number 4. One We, Planet 9, Isotropy. There is so much smart use of symbolism in this era. First of all, that title, it refers to a characteristic of sameness. An isotropic thing, it's going to be measured the same no matter what form you use to measure it. It is this stability, this sameness in its magnitude. So a consistent factor, something very stable. The album cover is an infinity symbol, related, but around a hot air balloon, which is a sign of adventurousness, freedom, going to new heights, but with conditions. New heights reached temporarily. So there's this contrast, a symbol of infinity and something that will die out. Throughout the album, there's that contrast. All these analogies about outer space, planets, expanding their horizons through the galaxy, all those metaphors, infinite, expanding universes. And those exist beside lots of analogies to things like dust, wisps of fog or smoke, ashes, remaining but maybe fading fast, remnants of something with a clear end. So they sing about the eternal and the opposite in a very thoughtful way. The video contrasts those symbols too. Red arrows, a street sign that says goodbye, a bright blue sky, but appearing just as an image on an umbrella amid a dark landscape. Shoot It Out is a really powerful ballad, but one of their best, maybe to date, is Meteor Shower. Very twisty and detailed. There's a real raw pain to the slow but strong, sentimental Count the Stars. Similar vibe to Kiss in the Rain. Then they end with quite an OST-worthy, faster, more upbeat pop rock sound. Number 3. Yuki, YU-Q number 1. First of all, I love the rollout, the release schedule of this. She started with the pre-release Could It Be, which just has such an enviable set of views. It's like a travel PSA. To stay at the super nice vacation house, she just chills, drives around on a sunny day, takes herself to dinner, then rocks out with the cowgirl chic look, playing her gold glitter-coated guitar. She packs up, leaves with a bounce in her step, the ultimate recharge, refresh. And a vlog-style compilation of that good trip opens the teaser video that leads into her hearing strange noises, parcel tongue-like situation, approaching the wall, seeing something red blink on the other side of the wall. Then her eyes get all dark and it's like she was possessed. So the spooky tone was shifted into less harshly because of the transition flashback. And then she's fully in spooky territory with the Freak video. Chapter 1 is called She's a Certified Freak, where she casually hangs out with this mysterious Clifford-like stuffed puppy, uses a Ouija board like it's nothing. Chapter 2 is called He's a Certified Freak. Chapter 3 is called They're Certified Freaks. And Chapter 4 is called We're Certified Freaks. Throughout the story, classic movie villains hang out with her. Like she's just on a playdate, hanging out with the Shining Twins, Ghostface. The one I couldn't recognize is the boy with like the goth makeup, the white face paint. I don't know what movie that little boy is from. If anyone knows, please let me know. I can't figure it out. Everyone else I think I got though. And as not a horror fan, that's pretty impressive. Anyway, there's also a Love Actually reference in there, so the humor is there too. It's not all dark. Yuki enjoys being among these freaks, and they actually end the video with rocking out in a band together at this party they're throwing. Quite a house. This is a sitcom-worthy place to live. The video ends with text on the screen that says to be continued, so I really do hope there's more to this TV show-ready story. The other songs let her show off different sides to her voice. The acoustic guitar focused every time. Love the layered guitars and Drink It Up too. And PH1's lyric about I'll never go idle. Nice pun there. A nice back off haters I don't care message in My Way. She really lays out her villain origin story of sorts in Red Rover, which I think is the best B-side. I thought of G-Idol songs both when she sings about being a villain in Red Rover and when she sings about the story being never-ending. Addressing the ending of a story, or lack thereof, is something G-Idol did in the past too. She really stands out apart from G-Idol, sonically, stylistically, but I do love that there's still that G-Idol narrative in there a bit. Number 2 and number 1, we are actually going to talk about together because honestly, as of recording time, I'm so back and forth still about which will be 2 and which will be 1. Neither will surprise you. 1 will have to be 17. Further, 17 is right here, compilation that features plenty of new material, songs and videos. I have so much to say about that I will say in an upcoming episode of 17 Talk. I want to release that delayed because they're dropping the corresponding videos for the new songs spread out. So, gotta wait a bit for that. Also, I have to pick TXT for Minisode 3 tomorrow, which I enthused about at length in the episode called Minisode 3 Tomorrow Explainer. Knocked it out of the park once again with such sweeping, compelling, world-building stories that I just can't speak more highly of. I'm so impressed. They're one of a kind. Check out more thoughts and analysis in the episode. So 17 and TXT, bravo to both. Best of April. Now I have tons of honorable mentions to get to. One I was considering instead of Vicky Chen for number 20, Jeremy Lee's collab with Serenity, Rise in Love. I took it off just because Vicky Chen's voice stays super mellifluous, but there's just a sharp post-chorus A moment in the chorus that it's just nails on a chalkboard to me. Honestly, sorry. That little A post-chorus, that's enough to make me think, ooh, that was sharp on the ears. That ruined the song a bit for me. A little thing, but it's enough to drop the ranking. But anyway, it is a compelling song where they're engaging in an interesting back and forth, the way their vocals are spaced out to kind of overlap. People who might be talking past each other. There is a cool juxtaposition thematically with that back and forth. Serenity sings, "The truth I know, just that I still hope." When Jeremy sings, "There are things for me to put a final note." So he's saying goodbye, closing the books on this relationship. She's saying, "I'm still holding out hope for it to continue." Then they have a reversal where Jeremy says, "I've come to succumb, like I've given in to your desire to keep this going. I'm trapped under your spell." And she flips too to sing "Nobody really matters much," like now I'm the cynical one. Then again, he gets hesitant, sings "Can't care too much, let me shrug," at the same time that she sings "Future's all I'm after." Loose Emble, one of a kind. I love that they still have so many throwbacks in their lyrics and visuals to Luna and the Lunaverse. I mean, the intro is called A Butterfly Signal. They also have more lyrics about moonlight, star and moon type analogies, songs about fate, togetherness, destiny. Particularly reminiscent of Luna's early days is the song He Said, I Said, when they literally sing about being the one to say, I like you first. Being the one to make the first move, not waiting for a crush to do it for you, that take charge attitude was directly what theme they went with in the multiply eras, the plus eras, etc. The video too brings back Lunaverse memories, starting out with the space shuttle thing, coming back to Earth, where things are still not as they seem. That robotic eye type device, the allusion to some of this action being a dream, which adds possible meaning to the mid-video break from a cutesier concept to a literally darker, edgier, more mature, sultry look. Their duality they're showing, obviously it's for marketing purposes, but it makes sense story-wise too, to have the other side in them when we're talking about literally traveling out of this world, having supernatural adventures as if playing different personas is just a normal part of their lives. So when there's a storytelling purpose behind an abrupt cutaway stylistically, makes it much more forgivable. Although I admittedly still love their cutesier stuff way more. They did intend to carefully add this chapter to their existing story. They were all very hands-on and described in a press conference it as being the second choice. The first choice, they called it, was trusting themselves. That's what the sensitive era was about. This time, it's about protecting their individuality while they still come together as one whole. So they learned to trust themselves, now they'll trust each other without giving up autonomy. That is such a Luna message to focus on. So very excited to see where this goes next, and I hope the Easter eggs remain too. Kodakumi, Unicorn. Quite a smorgasbord of options. Heaven's Kitchen is very rock. Silence is a piano ballad. There's a really great, well-done, quick escalation in the piano playing in UFO. Cool EDM, rock fusion in We Are Fighters. Classic pop magic on Let's Fight for Love. Honestly, I would skip Vroom and trust Last Type K. My personal fave, UFO or We Are Fighters or Let's Fight for Love. I really do like the funny, computerized intro too. There's some new, primarily compilation albums of older material that are worth knowing about. One's from J-pop girl group 1-5, Classy Crush. Most glad to see Choco Love on here, but I also love the change from that bad girl concept back to classic J-pop flair. There's some concert finale energy to Chance, although actually seems like Sawage was more meant for that. The award for most social media virality potential, like A. Then there's Yoasobi's East Side 3, one of the new songs on the primarily compilation, Mani Mani, with lyrics that paint as vivid a picture as ever. They really do have a good way with words to just visualize what they're saying. They describe this train ride you're on, you're the main character, seeing the sunset view stained by an orange hue while keeping track of the light you pursue. I'm roughly translating. But yeah, they do have a cool way to make certain syllables rhyme for emphasis too. You as the main character in the song go off to a seaside town, guided by the echoes, the wind. You go where nature takes you on an adventure and trust you'll find your way back home. Then there's Hikaru Utada with science fiction, which compiles lots from the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, re-recordings, remixes, the lot. Honestly, because I'm a nerd, what I love about the new song on there, Electricity, is the research rabbit hole it prompted me to go down. I love when there's a reference in a song that leaves me looking things up. So I did. The song references Einstein's letter to his daughter. Since again I'm a nerd, I will include a fact check on my site sources page as always. This Einstein letter to his daughter about the power of love to make life brighter is more likely than not a forgery. Einstein didn't write it. However, it really does have a sweet, important message. So whoever wrote it, I'm still glad they did. Again, I'm a nerd. So did I read it? Sure did. Here are some direct quotes. There's an extremely powerful force that so far science has not found a formal explanation to. It is a force that includes and governs all others, and is even behind any phenomenon operating in the universe and has not yet been identified by us. This universal force is love. When scientists look for a unified theory of the universe, they forgot the most powerful, unseen force. Love is light that enlightens those who give and receive it. Love is gravity because it makes some people feel attracted to others. Love is power because it multiplies the best we have, and it allows humanity not to be extinguished in their blind selfishness. Love unfolds and reveals. This is the variable that we have ignored for too long. Maybe because we are afraid of love, because it is the only energy in the universe that man has not learned to drive at will. Each individual carries within them a small but powerful generator of love, whose energy is waiting to be released. When we learn to give and receive this universal energy, we will have affirmed that love conquers all, is able to transcend everything and anything, because love is the quintessence of life." Unquote. I'll let that speak for itself. Catch the Yun released fragments of Odyssey. It's quite a range of songs, in many ways, not just vibe-wise, but overall inspiration-wise. Like a pro-gamer inspired The Legend. Voyager was inspired by this desire to break free from what anchors you down. Then there's the fan-inspired Light on Me. Instrumentally and lyrically, it's a variety. They scratch that itch if you're missing CN Blue. Rise released Rising, Riizing. I am definitely here for their obvious aesthetic throwback to first-gen K-pop, a more boy-next-door fresh-face look, California boy look. It suits them, as does the music. Nogizaka 46's Chance Wabudu is really well done. Starts out classically them, very fast J-pop. Then midway through it gets kind of city pop-esque. They add in more unexpected layering as it unfolds. Very Gurney Delia-esque in some unexpected ways. Time for a lightning round. R&B really does suit IM. His new album Off the Beat might be his best release yet, and the smoothest. The best B-side, MMI, aka Me, Myself, and I. Another smooth, solid new R&B release, 12, TWLV, with Diminished. Chanmina is back with Forgive Me. The only reason she needs to ask for forgiveness is because the song is too short, but I love her in her Charlie XCX-esque era. She also brings great attitude to Rina Sawayama's This Hell on their remix. There's a great full sound to this fun collaboration Daichi Mura did with Makoto and Rihata, Alien Rockstar. Love the fast techno song Pinnacle by Aura, spelled for URA, and Philosophy. Speaking of SM Entertainment affiliated work, the Arkans remix of NCT Dream's Smoothie, worth your while. Another remix worth not skipping over, the Will Not Fear remix of Ugly by Even, EVNNE. There's a very cute, likable, easy to love, easy to listen to song in Hero by Hunseo. Han Hee-jun brings a marvelous voice to both Before and Before and B-side Yours Truly. Speaking of great voices, J Park released J Park Season 1, featuring a new song, You're My, and a great remix of Like I Do by Jay Tager. Love how popular that song got on social media, because now we have these remixes of it, and I just can't get tired of them. The Sunkiss one, SUNKAS, very much worth your time. Jin Jin released a touching tribute of sorts with Moonbin vocals, a special song called Fly with a reach for the sky, hang in there, you're stronger than you think message. There's a really full and top tier ballad in Reborn by Jess Lee. Nissi and Sky High are a dynamic rap duo on Stormy. Nullflower's song, Come True, does so much, so well. The synths, the drums, the guitars, the plucking, the drumming, the suspense stirring, every move is made so well, just instrumentally, arrangement-wise. There's a super cute song that will be in your head all day, fair warning, by Pagehun and dance crew KKANBYEONGZ. It's called Play With Me. It's naturally playful. It reminds me kind of Jay Sean. Down by Jay Sean. If you were born in the late 90s and you grew up listening to aughts music, like on the school bus and stuff, Down by Jay Sean was it. Yama's new song, Statement, has this digital layer on top of just wild and out guitar, the bass, the drums. There's just a lot going on, all with that PC game ready sheen on top. I really like it. Female rock stars killing it. Lisa with Shouted Serenade, Rolling Quartz with Stand Up, and Yon Yon with Soul Girl. Love the new attention. That can go to P1 Harmony's Late Night Calls, thanks to the video. The winner of Best OST of the month, Stray Kids for Why. And winners of Best Song Covers of the month, Crush for Over the Rainbow, Purple Kiss member Swan for Wish You Hell by Wendy, although she should have released a full-length one, not just part of the song, but anyway, and Purple Kiss's Ire for her Skater Boy cover. You know I adore Jeff Sutter, so I have to shout him out again for the White Flag live session video with Nant to Nant. There's an acoustic version of False Reality by Judd, J-U-D, that really made me like the song even more, like it might be better acoustic. Kim Chae-won of Les Seraphim teamed up with Tori Kelly for a fun surprise in Spruce. It's got an interesting character to it that feels new for her. I smell like vacation, but look like boss. That's a good line. That seems like it should be on travel merch or something. Like buy your visor or suitcase now that says smelling like vacation, looking like boss. Speaking of vacation, New Jeans seem as chill and content as ever in their video for Bubblegum. A classic New Jeans song and style, the filming of it and the theme, they're just so on brand. Gotta respect the consistency. Nana Mizuki released Adrenalized, this busting at the seams electronic pop rock jam. Girl Squared is back with Ice Cream, luckily in the same vein as my favorite collab of theirs, The Finest. The Finest 2.0 basically is this song, DNA. Drippin's Beautiful Maze EP seemed kind of forgettable, but then Beautiful Maze was in my head all day. It really does have an earworm quality to it. Give it another chance. Fantastics are here with Sugar Blood Kiss. It's very finesse by Bruno Mars-esque, but with more autotune, much more autotune. Quite out of the blue is Blue, B-L-O-O's new video for Girl in New York, an old song, but one of his best, so I'll take some renewed attention for it. The boy group Pick Us released an EP called Little Prince. Gotta love a Little Prince reference. Thank you, TXT, for introducing me to that story. Although I actually prefer not the title track, but Wolf and Aha. Park Wan released my FU 5X's, I can't say it out loud on the show, but that romance, that effing romance. The best songs are his collaborations, like the one with Sunmi called Oh Yeah. Girl group B-Wave arrived with a self-titled EP. The best song is Blue Wave, big Les Seraphim energy. The duo Chenyo released Leaves, the best installment to date in their series of classic covers. Man with a Mission released I'll Be There, 0 to 100 real quick. It's got this clap-along and stomp-along ready feel too, and the volume inconsistency I actually see as a song advantage. It arguably just speaks to the song's influx feel, the dynamism of it all. So as they sing, no matter what, I'll be there, you hear what no matter what sounds like. Han Sok-min released Note, a really solid EP with the rock song Bluebird, followed by the fast and celebratory I'm an Alien, plus some nice guitar strumming later, is the song Waiting, so it's short but sweet. 82 Major released Beat by 82. Birthday is the classic vibey, chill style of a K-pop boy band song. They really flex some cool deep voices with Illegal. The best instrumental is the NCT style of hip-hop they go with in 82. Definitely a suitable group anthem. Boy band Nowadays released a self-titled album. I gotta say it, they definitely seem to be a mirror image of Boy Next Door, but I frankly like Boy Next Door more. Even the ooh-wee video really looks like it came out of the Boy Next Door alternate, kooky, colorful universe, except the Nowadays universe has an Angry Birds type main character. It's a long story, but they're definitely going for the same energy. With the boyish charm of the songs themselves too, with Now being about the sky's the limit, follow your dreams, etc. Then Ticket is about feeling, in their words, like an NPC now, a non-playable character. You need to get out of this rut. They have fun, youthful ways with words. Yao Chen released Live. The best song is Live in the Moment, and shout out to him for the Turn Up video that just lets him show off his cool guy image and dance moves. DJ Diddy made the soundtrack for Sally, Salli. Great music if you just like instrumentals to help you get work done. That Sally How Do You Do refrain, it will be in my head for probably eternity. Gyubin released Special it is indeed. She got to work with someone she really looks up to, Kim Jong-won of Nell. She considers him a friend and a mentor now, making the song a super sweet way to cap off both her trilogy project and 100 days since her official debut. June K released Command C plus Me Korean version, which is so hard to summarize. It is so what am I listening to? But I think I like it. It's like pressing rewind and fast forward on whatever soundtrack the movie is for. Just back and forth, rewinding, then fast forwarding, or doing other things, chopping up a movie so it's not chronological. I don't know. It is a weird mishmash, but I kind of like it. I don't know. It's experimental in a way that I vibe with. What's experimental in a more palatable way? All I Want by Cross Dominance and EILL. Great bouncy bass and beat, super lively, feel good. Ale the Shota teamed up with Eddie Boy and Novelcore for Villains, and it's cool how their auto-tune voices are just one, like they are a band, singing in unison. There's such an aggressive beat and chaos in the second part of the choruses. There's also a cool from one ear to the other spatial effect, ad-libs, lots of character there, lots to appreciate. The first of its kind boy group, Big Ocean, debut with Glow, a remake of the song by H.O.T. They're the first boy band in K-pop made only of hard of hearing members, to different degrees. Yeah, who would have thought? To me, it's just such a cool testimony to the power of music. Of course, it's not surprising. People assume if you're hard of hearing, you don't like music, but they can feel it intensely in different ways. They have different kinds of cues, other than auditory, they can pick up on. If you check out Big Ocean on YouTube, you can see some of their covers, like BTS's Dynamite, where part of the time they sing and dance, part of the time they use sign language. So it's an interesting balance. There are two boy group songs I want to shout out for the videos more than the actual songs. One is the video for Master Plan by BE:FIRST. Long story short, it's a very interesting idea for a full movie that it sets up. Like, it's a cross between a lab rat's jail, we're subjects in a human experiment, illusion, they're cogs in a machine, and this preparation to tear down an old system, and they're using the guise of just acting for the sake of making a movie. There's a meta aspect of what's acting versus conforming because you want to. Autonomy versus conformity. Yeah, it definitely reminded me of NCT Dream's whole Dreamscape set of videos. And I want to shout out Gravity's new video for C'est La Vie. It is full of what's going on moments, from the raining bananas to the fact there's no follow-up after it seems like a random girl lassos and pulls away and kidnaps a member. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen, I guess. There's a literal magical hug, but then the opposite of a super cute moment, this fight club setup with a nice reference. The rule on the sign is we don't talk about C'est La Vie. Then there's this cool flash of light transition into a 2D image. It's quite surreal and ends with a deeper sense of, have I been tricked? Like, did I really just see that? Because they just are standing unassumingly by their band equipment, waving as the video comes to a close. Lee Jin-hyuk released New Quest, Jungle. I really think Crush should have been the title track. That's the best. The bass in Slay, though, does slay. That's a good one. BOBE''O released Affection, a really great classic R&B flow for him, but I really like his less chill moment, the big finale, when he shows off a vulnerable side to his voice, yet a powerful one, with Sorry. So it's overall a laid-back groove, but it does change up the rhythms, the moods, enough to stay interesting, and ends with the emotional Sorry. Kim Yuna released Tales of Sensuality, an R&B soul album that's classic her in its desire to emphasize what she's saying over how she's saying it. She gets rid of razzle-dazzle. It's, for lack of a better term, basic instrumentals. I honestly love, though, the song with the least meaning, possibly. The lyrics that literally are just listing adverbs. The song called The Garden of Adverbs with Lehigh. They just sound so pleasant that go ahead and just list words. Millet, one of my all-time faves, released Hanataba, aka Bouquet, an anti-hero OST, adding on to my statement, winner of the best OST of the month is, but Stray Kids wise, maybe beating it. But video-wise, of course, Millet is just doing what she had to do. Beautiful lyrics about vulnerability, but extra beautiful just aesthetically. So not her best song, but a sight to behold. This beautiful magic that spins around, this gold that flies around like a bunch of glitter or fireflies, or both, in the air, in this green forest, in some scenes. She's in like a greenhouse, in this beautiful turquoise dress. Then there are scenes where you can just take in the beautiful sky, fresh snow. Look, it's a nature appreciation video, but also an acting one. She shows off some acting chops as she brings the high stakes feel to life. There are 3 separate dynamic duos that I want to shout out. Zico and Jenny teamed up for Spot. They have a cool platonic chemistry, and it's nonstop fun to watch this mobile dance party follow Zico everywhere. That's when you want to be a follower, not a leader. More contagious good vibes, Allie and Pink Sweats with Make It Hot. She looks model ready, rocking out with denim and sequin outfits on the beach with her friends. Pink Sweats is over there with his pink truck, pink clothes, just chillin'. Then they go chill together, skate together, dance on the beach together, have a playful water fight together. It is just good, happy summer, sunny day fun. Then there's Ayumi Imazu with Max for Obsessed. His version has this verse that is so secretly full of references to his songs. Nicely done. Talk about a personal touch. And it's a fun delivery of a woe is me message. A pity party song that's also fun. Like, ugh, why do I always feel like I just met the love of my life? I can't just like someone a little. I have to suddenly be 0 to 100. I can't rein it in. Lastly, 2 that I'm not sure what to think of. So these are not necessarily recommendations, but ones I am curious what your thoughts are about them. So your homework viewing for future episode discussions. First of all, watch IAAA, her video for our season. She's literally a meta girl, like a metaverse, a CGI AI generated girl. The first out of 4, one set to represent each season. Curious what you think of her video and that project, period. Then there is the entirely AI-generated video, AI at least, involved somewhat in every step of the process, for Yoga Lynn's A Family of Love, which, okay, I've never seen Food Fight, but it sounds like the movie Food Fight. It looks like it. A Toy Story movie, but it's about a grocery store, got terrible reviews, but maybe hate watch it and have a blast one night. Anyway, it's Food Fight-esque. This strange AI video where okay, I'll let them say it. Here's the video description officially. The plot describes how Brother Cheese bravely escaped after being accidentally sent to the warehouse by a store clerk and separated from his family, and how he reunited with his family with the help of his family. The childlike plot and cartoon style make children also enjoy the story. It is easy to watch and you can feel the song message of cherishing your family, unquote. Okay, AI probably wrote that too. It's a nice message though, I guess. Just about there's no love like love for family. Anyway, I'll leave you with that weird thought, so thank you all for tuning in and bearing with me as I dealt with not a great day vocally. I try my best to power through. You can get a comprehensive list of everything I talked about today if you're a paying subscriber. But if you're a free subscriber, you can still get to see at least the top 20 in a handy list. That corresponding write-up is out soon. Make sure to subscribe, free or paid, either way. Link in description. Thank you so much as always for tuning in, and I'll talk to you all again very soon. Bye, everybody.